I believe like we are live now. So hi everyone, I'm Bhavna over here from AI community and we have Nitya with us from Amazon and today we will be breaking some code over here like how you can won 13 hackathons. So let me just give you a brief insight what exactly we are planning to do. So first like I will be explaining what we are building and how you can be the part of it and one surprise challenge that we are running and then like Nitya will be explaining certain things like how you can be the part of the your hackathon journey, whether you are a beginner or you are a big winner pro and so on. So like Nitya will share some insights from her past experiences participating in hackathons and so on. So yeah, like we are building AI power wallet. Like it's more like your Paytm for crypto, where you can directly make your payments in a single way, where having some AI assistant support and so on. So this is exactly that we are building at AI. So I would say it's more than a wallet where you can get everything at one place. So here, if you are someone who wanted to be and have the cutest swags at your place, so we are running this particular challenge where you can make something creative out of the mascots that we have provided over here, like the AR1 as well as GitHub. So while sharing on social, you just need to tag these particular hashtags like community uh, usernames and so on and make sure to use this particular hashtag hack the vibe so that we can track the applications and so on and yes like after that you get the chance to win this particular swags. So yeah, I will hand over the things to Nitya now.
Okay, so hey everyone, I am Nitya and I'll be your hackathon strategist for today. So today we are going to talk about basically how to win hackathons and how you can too. So as for my credentials on why I am a good hackathon strategist for today, I'll just quickly like to mention that I did not recently win it, but I did win the NetApp Innovathon, which was like a national hackathon, and I came in first with my team. And other than that, I have also achieved milestones in other smaller hackathons as well. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the key essentials or the key factors, as you would like to call it, for a winning hackathons doesn't just inculcate a skill. That is something that I have seen a lot of beginners accept that this is the root cause of their failures. But let me just quickly glorify in blinding letters that it is not. It is not always about the coding skills, but majorly about how you present it. So I'd like to brief a little bit more on that. Yes. So the core success elements are majorly divided into four parts. One is a strong team. So I've seen, especially with beginner teams, what happens is you enter into a hackathon and you loop in all of your friends, which is great because you're bonding together and you're trying to win something. And you're building an idea and bringing it into a real vision. But what you also have to focus is that you all have a diversity of skills. Do not do not ever go into a team where everyone is like, let's say, a front-end engineer, because at that point of time when you have to actually build the back end, or let's say the cloud side of things, you might have dystopian interest there. So a strong team is always recommended, and I'm not saying do not go out and participate in these hackathons with your friends, but always try to have a different skill set in the team. And also, it'll be perfectly cool if you guys, have multiple teams of friends. So you can also go out on the hackathon portals and team up with people who have different skill sets. So this way, not only are you expanding a network, but also you're increasing your chance of winning. Then we have a clear focus. Yes. So majorly in hackathons, we have a lot of tracks. Let's say one would be on sustainability, one would be on Web3, one would be on let's say some business approach related things, and majority of the teams just try to focus on everything, and then they create a solution based on an accumulation of all of these side tracks, which is something that can cause a lot of problems. So, as an advice, I would like you all to have like a clear, defined problem statement that you would like to fix and have a dedicated sustainability track. Also, hackathons are, yes, it is great if you win a hackathon, but also hackathons are something which can be treated like a workshop where you're building skills, you're getting to meet new people, you're learning from other people, and in that, winning a hackathon should not be your core success element there. Like, I would consider a hackathon win even if I meet like great people, and in like going forward in life, if I get to like hang out with them and just get to learn more, that is also a win. So that is always there. Next is effective planning. So you get majorly like in a normal hackathons for 48 hours, you get like 2 days. And in those 2 days, you're not just building, you're designing and planning. And also, while you're executing, you also need some time to keep yourself awake and some rest time there. And something that is always critically mentioned that is missing in all of those elements is that there is a clear lack of a planned presentation present. So what I mean here is that, let's say you have a plan. Okay, there are 48 hours left in this hackathon, and then people start with a ideation phase. They create prototypes, then they create the code base, and it's all working. And at the very last moment, you are done with the project. But what you have missed out here is effective planning for your presentation. So a final presentation is something that matters a lot, and this is also something that is going to reflect on in the next point, which is like a polished demo. So you have to have like a very nice focused project demo which incorporates all the features that you've built, the vision that you stand for, and all the aspects that are required to make this happen. So that is something that you have to plan accordingly. Ideally, I would recommend, like, let's say at least 2 hours minimum for just planning the final demo, that this is what is going to happen. And if something does not go as planned, these 2 hours are critical, as you can mention your incomplete features as like a feature request for future. So that also brings it up uh, in a very good way in front of the mentors and the judges that you have looked forward to completing this project eventually. Finally, publish a demo, and a polished one at that. So, how about I go and say, okay, this is my project, and let's say we talk about this project, which is a very nice project, and it'll be focusing on sustainability. So, in this project, let's say I have completed all of my tasks, I have coded it out, and now I have like a web scraper that is just going to integrate into all the Gmails. And once there's like a limit of an like time limit of, let's say there's a 1 year time limit there. So whenever a email hits that, it gets automatically cleared out. And in this way, I can probably reduce a lot of carbon footprints, and thus it'll help everyone. So now, if I were to go unprepared and just mention it in a way, okay, so we are building this, which is the web scraper for environment help, that would look plain, right? But if I were to mention, okay, this is how many people who are using Gmail, and this is how many people who are using Gmail for corporations. So now you can even try to monetize this way and also sell it in a better perspective that you've thought of this problem statement and you're presenting it with a clear cut solution. That is why polished demos are the best ones out there. And sometimes, even if there is a lack of some property that is required there, if a polished demo is presented well, and you clearly state it out in like a future requirement, those projects do win somehow. So yeah, a polished demo is a critical hit that you do not miss. So yes, these were the core success elements of winning the hackathons, and we'll move on now. So preparing to win, and here we'll be talking about essential steps to get ready for the success. Again, I am mentioning it as a success, but winning a hackathon is the best approach present there, but also it matters that you're learning more. So, how do we go about getting those winning ideas? And especially in hackathons like these, where AI have come up now and we're vibe coding everything, we need three preparation checklists: research, setup, and pitching. So, pitching, I cannot clearly stress it enough. It is required. It is your heart and soul of the entire project, your vision, and the project you've created. Setup is your tools and workspace. So, now tools and workspace. So, let's say you have accumulated a team. One of them is a backend engineer, one is a front end engineer, one is great at Cloudverse, and now you are deliberating which needs to be your perfect workspace and tools to proceed further. So, there you have to think about all of the positives. I could be a backend engineer and I could really love Django and Flask for it. But if this project is totally based on, let's say, React or let's say Lambdas are required, then those kind of frameworks might not be correct. This is something that has to be discussed in the team internally. And once you're set to it, please do not navigate unless and until it is a clear misalignment that you are seeing in the team. Because hackathons are meant to be places where you learn. So even if you are a backend engineer with a lot of experience in Django, it doesn't mean that you cannot experiment your skill set with other backend workspace tools. And finally, research. So research is where you figure out that this is going to be our winning idea for it. For this, I usually recommend people to just go about the problem statements that are mentioned here. So now this might seem like a very basic thing here, but a lot of times in hackathons, people see that there are previously curated hackathon projects that are just reused in hackathons. So instead of that, what this causes is that the hackathon problem statements are often missed out. So go to the description sections of all of those hackathons and read through what those problem statements they are targeting for this one. This is critical because this will give you some direction on where to start. And let's say there are six of it. So out of those six issues, you can pick out two, and then once the team is finalized on those two, then you start your research. Now, by research, I could mention that, of course, you can go to ChatGPT and ask, "Ki, is this a viable solution or can you recommend some direction here?" But now you'll have to put in some human touch to it. So, for example, let's take, so here I'll take up my hackathon idea for NetApp, which was a freelancing project. And what is happening right now is that there are a lot of freelancers now, and it is a really growing industry. And when I was curating that project, I did come across those uh, like I did mention talking to a few people who were actually getting impacted by those layoff in that 2020 years, and freelancing was becoming huge, right? So now the gap was there are new people who want to enter into that freelance work culture, and there are also people who have been, let's say, laid off, or like who are women who are just trying to get back into that professional space. Now, there are portals for freelancing, of course, but there is not one that is targeting one specific idea. So, for this one, I clearly was trying to focus on women for a freelancing hackathon, freelancing project. Sorry about that. So, now what happened is we have freelancers and we have a subsection of it, which are the women freelancers. Now, women freelancers would require pay and they would require tasks as well, right? And also, we have Indian businesses which actively require people to hire for short term work. So, that platform was all about a targeted niche. So, ensure that while you're having your research discussions, have a targeted niche specifically to the people you are trying to build the idea for. After that, you can also have, hmm, let's say, a targeted market space. So let's say they're like let's say 12 lakh women freelancers right now, and all of them have this one problem that they are, according to research, quoting their prices lower than what is the expected market rate, because there is a psychology involved in that. So, how you can create a bar raising item for that is also critical, because this is going to impact how your project looks and how it is going to help out the other people. So, you have to really get into that mind space of the people who are actually suffering from this issue and then proceed further with it. So, do your due diligence on this and research before finally and actively start coding. So if you just start coding without any clear direction, it will be a catastrophe. So yeah, this was the preparation checklist, and let's go further. So now we've entered the stage that you are going through the hackathon, and we need the winning strategies now. So as mentioned, clear plan. So this is a roadmap on how you actually go about this project. Research is one, then creating a final team is one. How you're going to establish networking, also how you're going to approach the mentors. So this is something that people rarely do, and it is very strange because, okay, I think we lost the presentation for a second. Yeah, we're back, huh? So yeah, as I was mentioning, so people rarely do come across and refer to the mentors present in the hackathons, and it is very strange because mentors are there to provide you feedback, right? So you should really have like clear timelines. Okay, okay, we have a 48-hour hackathon, and after like 12 hours or 24 hours, whatever is convenient for you, we'll just try to reach out to some mentor and get some progress feedback. This is a vital step in your clear planning, because this helps the mentor evaluate you beforehand and also create an impression about your project and how it is going to go about in the future. So, that is a really critical strategy that is present there. Secondly, we have a prototype. So I've seen people, especially with the beginners, that they just start coding up and they do not stop until all of those elements in the front end are completed. Then they start with the back end, and then they try to integrate it together, which is good if you have a lot of time. But in hackathons, when you are in a time crunch, it is recommended that you create a working prototype first. Just get that website up, deploy it first, and then start iterating and adding those functionalities. So, this agile based methodology would help you increase your chances, because you already have a working build of that idea, and you can go on and add features while you're on the run instead of having a jiffy at the end moment and just trying to fix it all together and things breaking. So, that is the second one. The third is communicate constantly. So, in hackathons, especially the ones that are online, people are not often at the same place. So, one person could be in college, one person could be at their home, one person could be somewhere else, and you need to ensure that if you have divided those tasks, you need to have check ins that about the progress and the results of those little tasks. If someone is assigned front end, let them get back to you on the progress of the front end like every like 2 hours or something. This can be discussed internally, of course, but check-ins are vital, because let's say there's some emergency and they get into something else. Let's say the front end person suddenly got looped into some bug related to a cloud person's issues, and then they're working on that. So who's working on front end? We don't know that, right? So we need to avoid these clear miscommunication based issues by just communicating and having check-ins throughout the team. And next, of course, I am going to keep on insisting on the perfect demo, and especially on the vital need of monetizing your issue. So by monetizing, I could mean multiple things, right? It could be a CSR based project which is free for everyone, but in case it is not always upon sustainability or other factors, we will need something that is a project and helping out the other people, but also in a way generating revenue. So, an ideal case scenario would be, let's say, we take the example of the web scraper again. And here we'll have that web scraper functionality as a product. So now this web scraper just after 1 year removes the Gmail of a particular user. This can be a SaaS based product, right? So for individual members, you can just have like a front end of the subscription plans and you can just integrate it with Razorpay or something. And then you can mention for individual users, it could be like $5 per month. And for corporations with like 100 employees, you could have like $1,000 or something. Now, this could be pricier than the individual ones, but also you can list it out in a way that, okay, if you are incorporating this subscription into your company's plan, then you are going to save this money, and you'll be saving up on a lot of taxes because some governments actually do help out and decrease the taxes if you are reducing your carbon footprints, or there could be some other perks. So you can list out those benefits for the business that is going to take on this subscription, and then mention it in a way that you are benefiting them as well as they are benefiting you, and it's a overall win for the entire footprints. So that is how you monetize, and this is all something that you have to research well on. But monetizing is critical. Also, you can have multiple revenue streams. So by multiple revenue streams, you can also have, let's say you are just going to get a huge user base. So now if you have like, let's say 100,000 users, you can clearly just go on and ask these people to be more active on this app or something, and then you can just show them ads. Now you're not taking anything from the user, and all of these subscriptions and those features are available to them free of cost. But if you're showing ads, that can be one more viable option for monetization, which is going to help and keep this project alive. So this is how you rethink how you're going to approach this entire project and then execute. And then selling your idea is all about monetization, and I just covered it. So yeah, there is that. And of course, vision, mindset, and focus matters a lot. And just go out there, be confident, and sell it. So that is that. And I'm open to any questions if you have any.
Yeah, thank you, Nitya, like for covering the points. I really love the point, like where you have mentioned communicate challenge constantly, because previously when I used to participate in hackathon, it happens with me a lot of time. Like people wouldn't understand, or either you will be making a team with someone for the first time, and you do not know like what's their skill sets and so on. So there will be a lot of miscommunication and so on, which eventually lead you to the growth of the whole team to complete the projects and so on. So definitely, like this is something that you all need to take care while participating in the hackathon. So yeah, like if you have any doubts, you can directly reach out to Nitya over her socials. Like I will share it in the YouTube description. So you can directly reach out to her, and she is also one of the judges and mentor in the hackathon. So you can directly ask her your doubts in the hackathon group that we have created. So we both wishing you best of luck for the hackathon and
Yes.
looking forward to see amazing projects. Yeah.
Yes, wishing you all a lot of success and have fun building.